I feel like this is one of those things that may not seem that it's going to affect the entire destiny of humanity, but I think it will.
Well, my friends, I have some breaking news, and it's actually good breaking news for a change. The Wisconsin Supreme Court race just concluded, and it was called for Susan Crawford. Now, if you haven't been following this race, if you're not from Wisconsin, let me tell you, this wasn't just about the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. This was essentially a referendum on Elon Musk. He poured millions and millions of dollars into this race, trying to buy this election, and the candidate that he backed just got his ass kicked. So as you can see, Susan Crawford has a nice double-digit lead with more than 50% of precincts reporting. And this was an ass kicking. And I want to show you this chart because it says everything that you need to know about this race. So these are all of the billionaires who tried to buy this race. Elon Musk spent nearly $20 million trying to influence the outcome of this election. You have other right-wing billionaires like Diane Hendricks and Elizabeth Uline who also tried to get in. Now you also see some Democratic Party billionaires like J.B. Pritzker and George Soros, but all of their donations pale in comparison to the right-wing donations, and especially the donations from Elon Musk, who didn't just spend lots of money through his America PAC. He paid people to sign petitions opposing activist judges. It is a profound level of corruption. This much money has never been spent to influence the outcome of a judicial race. But here we are. Like, I'm curious to know what the justices who decided Citizens United would think about this now. Did they even foresee it getting this bad? I'm sure that they did. Either way, this is American politics now, where if you're a billionaire, you can at least try to buy democracy. But thankfully, Elon Musk put his big dumb face front and center, and everybody saw, oh, he's the one who's trying to influence the outcome. And it backfired. Everything he's doing is backfiring because what he's doing is illegal. He is hurting people. And he has the audacity to pretend like George Soros is the biggest boogeyman in American politics when he is everything that Republicans said George Soros was. And just to show you what I mean, so he was at this rally to try to make sure people got out and support Brad Schimmel, and just look at what he said in response to hecklers.
It's insane. Yeah, it's really wild. So, like, I mean, it was inevitable that at least a few Soros operatives would be in the audience. Give my regards to George. Say hi to George from me.
Bro, you are George Soros. You are the boogeyman that the right has concocted. You're everything wrong with American politics. And to be clear, no billionaire on the Democratic Party side or the Republican Party side should be able to do this. The solution is not to have competing billionaires in every single election. The solution is to get billionaires the fuck out of our elections altogether, so that way the American people are able to make their own unfiltered, unadulterated decisions when they go into the voting booths. How about that? And if you listen to the ads in this race, they were insane. Basically, Susan Crawford and Brad Schimmel went back and forth talking about who's lighter on pedophiles and making it seem as if they're both, super soft on criminals. It was pretty unhinged, but to me, this was more about Elon Musk than the substance. Sure, it's important in the sense that this is going to determine the future of reproductive rights in the state of Wisconsin and redistricting and whatnot, so it absolutely has repercussions that are material and meaningful, but this was a test as to whether or not Elon Musk still had the political clout that he had back in November, and he very clearly doesn't. And what's interesting is that there were Republicans who were rooting against Elon Musk here, hoping that this would be a massacre against his candidate, so that way they can use this as an excuse to kick him to the side. To show you what I mean, Politico reports, a pair of House Republicans, both of whom represent districts full of suburbanites, told me they're hoping Musk will soon start heading for the exits. An April 1st massacre would be a beautiful thing, said one of the GOP lawmakers, because it would rouse congressional Republicans to the damage Musk is doing and hand political capital to the lawmakers facing the most difficult races next year. The GOP GOP lawmakers, this member said, grasp the political damage Musk is doing because the shit he puts up on the internet about government spending or savings is wrong, but when it relates to their districts, it gets picked up by both their MAGA base and local media outlets, angering different blocks of voters. The other House Republican, remaining somewhat more restrained, said the White House needs to effectively declare victory and thank Musk for his service. Elon's work needs to wrap up, and he needs to exit stage left, said the lawmaker. And I wish that these cowards would actually say this on the record, but they won't. But behind closed doors, Republicans are crossing their fingers and toes, hoping that Elon Musk's preferred pick goes down, so that way maybe they could use this as an opportunity to nudge him out of power. And is that going to happen? I'm not necessarily sure, because I think that there are financial ties that the two of them have. So maybe if Donald Trump boots Elon Musk, that hurts his personal well-being. I'm not necessarily sure. Either way, it is nice to know that voters rejected this bullshit, at least for now, right? In November, they were like, I'm okay with it, whatever. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, the economy reasons. But at least now they're reacting to what's happening with a reasonable response and saying, okay, maybe this has gone a little bit too far. Now, there were two other elections that took place in the state of Florida to replace Matt Gaetz and Mike Waltz. And the results there are actually really interesting as well. Both of the Republicans won, to be clear, but Republicans were nervous. And Trump himself was nervous, so much so that he decided to withdraw the nomination of Elise Stefanik to be the UN ambassador because he didn't want to risk her losing her seat too. But let me show you these results. So both Republicans, Jimmy Patronis and Randy Fine, won. But if you look at this chart courtesy of APAC Tracker, compare the results to November. Matt Gaetz carried that district by about 38 points. And I mean, it's still a very resounding victory, but 15 points, that is quite the jump. In terms of District 6 with Randy Fine. Back in November, Mike Waltz carried that district by 30 points, and now the margin of victory here is much smaller, as you can see, which is a sign that even in deep red Florida, the backlash is real, and it might not be enough for Democrats to pull off victories there because their brand is also toxic currently to voters. But the fact that so many people voted against the Republican, even in these deep red districts, goes to show you that the backlash is building. And this is just what, like 2 months into Trump's administration. So this is genuinely positive to see, to know that Americans, as misguided and propagandized and brainwashed as they are, can see that what's happening is wrong and illegal and unconstitutional, to know that Doge is hurting them, and to at least indicate that some are willing to vote against it. That's cause for hopium. So I hope that Elon Musk sees these results and internalizes these losses. And I hope that the Republican Party begins to see that he is absolutely toxic for their brand, because what he's doing with Doge is genuinely unpopular. It is deeply unpopular. He is firing veterans and IRS workers, thousands and thousands of government workers. And what he's doing is trying to dip into our money, Social Security. And there's outages that are being caused due to people getting fired from the Social Security Administration. I mean, everything he's doing, he's fucking up our government. So the fact that Americans are beginning to wake up, and it's not taking that long, comparatively speaking, just a couple of months in, they're seeing all the damage he's causing. I think that that's really good news. So Elon Musk, you tried to buy our election again, but you failed. So too bad for you. Get fucked, buddy, and get the fuck out of politics, because we don't want you in our politics. You are an unelected South African billionaire, and maybe you should be the one to go back to your country. We don't want you here. We don't want you doing all this shit with our government. Get the fuck out. Let this be a warning that the American people don't like what you are doing. Take the hint and fuck off forever.
Alpha male, not a beta male.